911.
My name is Denise, and I just want to see my kid again.
What's your home address, do you know?
Can you send me to my house? I'm a grandpa.
Hold on.
I can't see. Mommy.
What is the address that you're at?
Where am
Her voice is barely above a whisper. She is in the backseat of a moving car, hands bound, speaking into a phone that isn't hers, stolen from the man in the front seat. The man who took her. The radio is playing loud enough to cover her. She says her name. She says she has a husband and 2 little boys, and she just wants to go home. She says, "Please God, please protect me." Then the line goes dead. That call came in at 6:14 in the evening on January 17th, 2008. Officers were already in the area. The information existed, in real time, in the hands of the people whose job it was to use it. People are watching this from all over the world right now. Drop a comment and tell me where you're from, because the failures in this case did not stay in Florida. A quick note before we go further. This is a real case involving kidnapping, violence, and murder. Please watch with that in mind. That call was one of 5 made that day, 5 separate calls, and none of them were enough to bring her home. The question was never whether the system had the information. It did. The question is how every piece of it failed and who it cost. The call that just went dead belonged to a 21-year-old woman named Denise Lee. She lived in Northport, Florida with her husband Nathan and their 2 sons, Noah, who was 2, and Adam, who was 6 months old. She and Nathan had been together since they were teenagers. No money when they started out. They didn't care. They had each other, and then the boys, and a life that was taking shape in a small Florida town. Her father, Rick Goff, had spent 42 years in law enforcement. He knew the system. He believed in it. So did Denise. The man who came for her had no connection to any of them. Michael King was 36 years old, an unemployed plumber. He had no prior relationship with the Lee family. No history, no dispute, no contact. Investigators concluded he chose her by opportunity because she was there and he could. He drove a green Chevrolet Camaro. He had a prepaid cell phone, duct tape, and a .25 caliber pistol. Nothing in his record indicated what he was capable of. Nothing raised a flag. Around 2 p.m. that afternoon, a neighbour noticed an unfamiliar green Camaro pulling into the Lees' driveway. An hour later, Nathan came home from work. He found both boys alone, placed together in the same crib. Noah kept asking him the same thing, over and over. "Where's Mummy? Where's Mummy? Where's Mummy?" Denise was already gone, and no one yet knew what was happening to her. Nathan called 911. A search began. What no one knew yet was that Denise was already miles away, already in King's car, already past the point where anyone knew to look. King had taken her from the house at gunpoint. He drove her to his own home first, where he assaulted her. Then he bound her with duct tape and kept driving. What he did not account for was her. Restrained in the back seat, moving through 3 counties on unfamiliar roads, Denise got hold of King's cell phone and called 911. The operator asked where she was. She didn't know. She was moving. The call lasted 6 minutes before the connection was lost. She didn't stop there. She screamed, loud enough for people in passing cars to hear. She left her wedding ring in the back seat of the Camaro. At King's home, she had left behind strands of her own hair. Her father would later say she did everything in her power to make sure her abductor would be caught, that she outsmarted him. She was 21 years old and she was building a case. At 6:30 that evening, a woman named Jane Kowalski pulled up beside a green Camaro at a traffic light on US 41. She heard screaming from inside. She saw a hand strike the passenger window from the back seat. She called 911 and stayed on the line for more than 9 minutes. That call contained a precise location, a description of the car, a live account of an abduction in progress. What happened to it next is the part that is almost impossible to explain.
911, where's your emergency?
I'm on 41 going south, and I was at a stoplight, and a van pulled up next to me, and like Camaro, and they were screaming in the car, like screaming, and not a happy scream, like get me out of here scream. He's turning left right now. I don't know if I can catch up to follow him. Boy, there's a bunch of traffic and I can't get over.
Jane Kowalski stayed on the line for more than 9 minutes. It should have been enough. Because Kowalski was near the county line, her call was automatically routed to a different dispatch centre. not to the one already handling Denise's missing persons report. The dispatcher who received it made the connection. She recognized what she was hearing. She told 2 radio dispatchers. She passed them a note. She was told to enter it into the computer system. Somewhere between that note and a shift change happening at the same moment, the information stopped moving. It was never forwarded. Officers who were reportedly within a mile of the Camaro were never told. King was arrested at 9:15 that night, 6 hours after Denise first went missing. Investigators found her 2 days later in a wooded area, buried in a shallow grave. The shovel matched to King. The bullets ballistically matched to his .25 caliber pistol. She had been alive when those calls were being made. The dispatchers who mishandled the call were suspended. Not charged, not prosecuted. A jury would decide King's fate in less than 2 hours. No jury ever convened for what happened in that dispatch centre. The trial opened on August 24th, 2009. Prosecutors presented the physical evidence Denise had left behind, the forensic record she had built from the back seat of that car, and the ballistic match linking his pistol to the scene. And the recordings, her 6-minute call, and Kowalski's 9 minutes on the line. King's defence called no witnesses. The jury deliberated for 2 hours and 5 minutes, guilty on all counts: kidnapping, sexual battery, and first-degree murder. On September 4th, the vote on sentencing came back unanimous, 12-0, death. King spent the next 17 years on death row. Every appeal was rejected. State courts, federal courts, the US Supreme Court. On February 13th, 2026, his execution date was signed. On March 17th, 2026, at 6:13 in the evening, he was pronounced dead by lethal injection. He gave a statement beforehand. He did not apologise. He did not admit to killing Denise. Her son Noah, now 20 years old, nearly the same age his mother was when she died, was in the room. "I would have rather heard nothing," he said.
It's been a long time coming, and I'm just happy to have this closure. My dad said that he got the opportunity to know her and marry her, and I unfortunately didn't get the opportunity to know her and be raised by her, because I know he picked a great mom and Michael had other plans.
In June 2026, the Camaro was taken to a salvage yard and crushed. 18 years as evidence, gone in an afternoon, the case officially closed. But what Denise had set in motion from the backseat of that car, that was still running. The failure that killed Denise Amber Lee did not go unanswered. 3 months after her death, the Florida legislature unanimously passed the Denise Amber Lee Act, establishing statewide standards for 911 operator training. A follow-up bill made it mandatory, more than 230 hours, plus a state certification exam. Her father spent years lobbying for further reform. Her sister became a 911 dispatcher. Nathan built a foundation in Denise's name and has spent nearly 2 decades traveling the country, standing in front of emergency workers and telling them what happened on January 17th, 2008. The reach is national. The reform is real. Numbers and legislation do not carry the weight of what was actually lost. But before any of it, before the foundation, the legislation, the advocacy, there was a 21-year-old woman in a small Florida town with 2 little boys and a husband she had loved since she was a teenager. She was home with her children on an ordinary Thursday afternoon. She was taken. And in the hours that followed, with no certainty that anyone was coming, she kept moving. Every choice she made in that car was a choice made for the people waiting for her at home. Her son Noah said it plainly. She sacrificed herself to make sure we were safe. We came first. She was 21 years old. Her favourite colour was pink. She loved her boys. She loved Nathan. She was building something. That is who Denise Amber Lee was. That is who she remains.